Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal production channel here at YouTube, and welcome to, of course, the Wednesday review. Since last week I had reviewed the first volume, today I am reviewing the second volume, which of course is for Joe Buck yourself. It is titled Demon in My Head Volume 2, which was released through Doomsday's Today Records on June 19th, which is pretty much about the same day that the first volume was released on. Alright. So for Volume 2 here, this of course is a combination, I should also definitely at least bring up the speed. The first volume of course was pretty much a repackaging of his very first solo album. Here for Volume 2, it combines two of his most hard to find EPs, which of course is Hillbilly Speedball from 2007 and Gory Gory Hallelujah from 2008. Now, these two, again, are just put on one cassette here. So, I guess at this point, it's time to, of course, just get into my thoughts on Volume 2 here. So without further ado, let's definitely get into Demon in My Head, Volume 2. Okay, so before I get into, again, my thoughts on Volume 2 here, let's definitely run through at least the track listing. The interesting part about this track listing is that instead of going up from chronological order from at least 2007's EP and 2008's EP, it of course begins with the 2008 EP, Gory Gory Hallelujah, and the second half being, of course, 2007's Hillbilly Speedball. So, for, of course, the first half being the track listing for Gory Gory Hallelujah, it, of course, begins with Demon in My Head, Sea Rock City, Drug Train, Music City's Dead, Give It Up, and Dig a Hole. And, of course, now to side 2, which, of course, is basically contrived of just, again, 2007's Hillbilly Speedball. It, of course, begins with I Will Survive, Hillbilly Speedball, Born to Scare, No More, Took Up with the Devil, and In Treatment All. So, as far as my thoughts on here, since of course this is pretty much, again, two EPs, I'm just going to have to say that I think between the two EPs that are on this volume here, I think the one I like the most is the Gory Gory Hallelujah part of this release. Not that I think the Hillbilly Speedball part of this volume here is bad or anything. It's still good. It still is a good release. But as far as hooks and just pure just being fun and so on, I think that all those points, I think, goes to Gory Gory Hallelujah. It's so goddamn catchy with those 6 songs. It's so goddamn catchy. Every bit of those songs, again, they just have more hooks to them. I definitely can at least, again, I bob my head a lot. I tap my foot quite a bit. It's just great stuff. I think that is the strongest. I would say the strongest half of the second volume here is, of course, goes to Gory Gory Hallelujah, then, of course, to Hillbilly Speedball. But without further ado, as far as, again, some of the songs that I really like the most, again, let's definitely go to some of the songs in general. I mean, Demon in My Head, right here, it mixes that sort of hillbilly country kind of vibe and so on, but with more of a metal feel. I mean, the one thing about at least these two releases, compared to his very first solo album, which was more sort of definitely has more of that rockabilly feel, this one's got it. But instead of being more sort of closer to that classic rockabilly sound, this one definitely tends to inject more electric guitars into it. More modern electric guitars, almost giving at times a slight metal feel to these songs here. Again, I guess in many ways really giving it that psychobilly feel to as well to a lot of these tracks. But again, it's still the same idea, the same attack at least on the writing, but it's definitely a little different. Because again, with the usage of electric guitars, and again of actual modern day electric guitar amplifiers, it definitely gives it a bit more of a different feel compared to, of course, his very first solo album. So that's definitely one of the biggest difference between this material and the material on the first volume. But again, Demon in My Head is definitely one of my favorite tracks on here. Also, I also dig Sea Rock City, which is just catchy as hell. Drug Train follows the same as the previous track, but god damn, Joey's vocals are distorted, which just adds character to the song here. It's definitely just one of the great highlights off of this one. Music City's Dead, again, hooks galore with this track. It's so goddamn fun to listen to. Give It Up, just a boogie romp that is filled with piss and vinegar. Just a great friggin' track. I mean, this one definitely has more of that punk infused flavor to this track, and it definitely works to a lot of this advantage. Definitely just a great track, and of course the very last song for the first half of here, again, the end off the Gory Gory Hallelujah part of the second volume here is Dig a Hole, which is just fucking pure fun, down and dirty boogie rocker. Just a great track. So again, I really just love the Gory Gory Hallelujah part of this second volume here. But to get my thoughts on at least on the Hillbilly Speedball half of this volume here, I do dig I Will Survive, which again, it kind of begins a little bit almost the same way I would say maybe Demon in My Head, though it has more of that sort of country feel going on. But the minute them electric guitars finally jump in, yeah, it all of a sudden it really just gives it even more of that sort of cool feel. Then, of course, with the Hillbilly Speedball, that same feel going on. Then, of course, Born to Scare. They both are just great electric guitar-driven, again, just straight-up rockabilly tracks. Fucking love them. Of course, No More, which is... this is just a great, slow, groovy beat with killer guitar work. Catchy as fuck, too. Took Up With the Devil, dirty foot stomping track. I love that. And of course, I do have to definitely talk about the very last track, which of course is In Treatment All. Again, it ends things on an experimental way. From the ambience of Joe's cool guitar sweeping and the feedback from the amp, and at times I think there's even a little, I swear that instrument that's being played in this track has to be an accordion, and it just gives it even a whole extra feel to it. God damn, does it add something to this track. It all has this mental-like atmosphere, almost like if you were trapped in a hot room and is just paranoid out of your mind. Absolutely fascinating way to end this second volume here. So, there you go. There's, of course, is Demon in My Head Volume 2. As far as my rating, I'm going to give this a 8.70 out of 10. It's not as high as I at least give it. I mean, it's close. I mean, for the first volume, which again was Devil Is On His Way, Volume 1, I had given that rating the rating of 8.95. So here, this one's at 8.70. Definitely a little lower, but still, this is still some great, it's still fucking top-notch shit for this. I still fucking love this. I think at times it's almost equally as good than Volume 2, but may not nearly as catchy as I would say as the first volume, but still good. I still like this a lot. I didn't really expect to really dig Joe Buck Yourself's stuff as much as I should had, but I ended up really actually coming out being quite a bit of a fan of this stuff. This is actually, again, very catchy. It's got a real cool vibe to it. I like the punky, snarly vibe to a lot of the the rockabilly kind of stuff. For some reason, I just love that mixture. And again, this one, it mixing more of that electric guitar sound. It just, for some reason, it just seems to resonate a little more with me. So I really I fucking love this stuff. So there you go. Again, if you want to definitely check out the second volume, of course, I am leaving you to, of course, the Bandcamp page. Again, Doomsday Today Records Bandcamp page, where you can check out this volume right here, and of course, the first volume is on that page as well. You can check out both these releases. As far as getting in these physically, the link to, of course, Ralph's Records is going to be in the Bandcamp page anyways, which I think he's got about, I think according to this page, there is at least about three, only, I think, yeah, there's only, I think, only 3 copies left, I think, maybe, of this. 6 remaining. Only 6 remaining, at least, of this is at least 6 remaining of this volume is, of course, I almost am saying EP. I'm about to say EP, but it's a more of a compilation. But still, the second volume, the 6 remaining copies of this is, of course, is over at Ralph's Records, and the link to Ralph's Records is, of course, in the Bandcamp page. So there you go. So that's pretty much it for pretty much the Doomsday Today record stuff, until whenever Paul sends more of his stuff out my way. Until then, I think this is kind of gonna at least be it for the Doomsday Today records reviews, until Paul decides to send more of his stuff out my way. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you. This partnership was absolutely great. I got to hear some newer material, some stuff that was definitely out of my wheelhouse, and in some case, I turned out being a fan. I really, definitely, I thank you very much for a lot of this. This was just fantastic stuff. So thank you very much. Again, support Doomsday Today Records. If this is a label that is up your alley, support the fuck out of this guy. Support Paul of Doomsday Today Records. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed. This is Every Thrasher Sam out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.